Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast with me, your host, Jordan Banderas. Today we're diving into turning the impossible into possible and unleashing your true potential, which I know a lot of you have that potential, but for some reason, you guys are stopping yourself short from unleashing it. Now, let me tell you, this isn't just another pep talk. It's a raw, no-nonsense conversation about breaking through the barriers that hold you back. If you've ever felt stuck, unmotivated, or just plain hopeless, this episode is for you. But first, let's kick things off by addressing the elephant in the room. Fucking self-doubt. We've all experienced that nagging voice in our heads telling us we can't do something, right? Probably you know what I'm talking about. That little voice convinces you that you're not smart, talented, or worthy enough. But here's the hard truth. That fucking voice is a liar. Because self-doubt is one of the biggest obstacles to unlocking your potential. It paralyzes you, making the impossible seem insurmountable, like you will never be able to achieve reaching the top of the mountain. That's what it makes it look like. And recognizing and silencing that voice is the first step in turning the impossible into possible. You need to tell that voice to shut the hell up and watch you do it. You literally have to go against all odds. Now, let me share a story. Because I once thought I could never have what I have right now. Everything I've achieved up to this point in my life seemed impossible. I was stuck in a dead-end job, unhappy, and felt like my dreams were slipping away. I knew I could do much better. I knew it deep inside me. I knew I could do a lot better. But I had convinced myself that it was impossible. And one day, after hitting rock bottom, I decided to take a leap of faith. I quit my job at a mortgage servicer where I was making good money. I'm not gonna lie, I was making good money. And I also had great benefits. Those benefits were taking care of my wife. The health insurance, dental insurance, all the insurances that they were offering were great. But I had found a better job. So I had to take that leap of faith because, things were getting expensive. So I was like, I need to make more money. So I quit that job, got a better job. They were paying me more. But unfortunately, sometimes life will throw you curveballs. And soon after joining this new company, I saw the writing on the fucking wall and I left that company as well. And this happened within a few months of starting there. And one of the things that happened, and you have to be very careful about how you do this, is that the company shut down a few months after I left. And again, I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, you know what? This company doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. The managers, the CEO, they don't know what they're doing. I don't like this. So I left and they shut down. So my gut feeling was right because I was going to lose that job no matter what anyway. And here's what happened after that. My next job was great too. It was good. The insurance wasn't as great, but the pay was good. But sometimes you just feel like there's better out there for you. Probably you know what I'm talking about. That gut feeling that there's better. Just go out there. Climb that mountain, right? That's what I was feeling. And I ended up getting the best fucking job I could have ever asked for. But what had to change for me to get to this point in my life? My answer is simple. My mindset. I had to change my mindset. I realized that my mindset was the only thing standing between me and a better life. And not just for me, but also for my wife. And doing this helped me silence that nagging voice. not listening to it, being like, you know what, I'm going to take this leap of faith. Because when I started doing this, to get to this point, I was able to take leap after leap after leap of faith and got this new job. And I want you to understand this. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you how I did it. Because when I applied for my current job on Indeed, it said that over 200 people had applied for the position. And even then, I saw the numbers. It said that on Indeed. I was like, you know what? That job is mine. I was like, this job is mine. I'm going to get it. And I aced 2 interviews. And this is something that a lot of people might never experience. But I knew I got that job because the day after my second interview, the recruiter literally called me. This is exactly what happened. I'm not shitting you. I'm not fucking lying to you. The recruiter called me and said, hey, I just want to let you know we're going to move forward with you. So don't take any other job offers. They called me the next day. And I was like, fuck yeah. And then a few days later, they're like, we made our decision. We're giving you the job. And I got the fucking job. And I'm enjoying it right now. But to get here, to get to this point, I had to go through 3 other jobs. And I didn't quit. A lot of people quit. That's the problem. Because I did something that 10 years ago seemed impossible for me. But it was possible for me. I made it possible. So why wouldn't it be possible for you too? That's one of the things that I always ask people when they say, like, I don't know if I can do it. Why not? Have you tried? No. Then fucking try it. There's nothing to lose. You lose more by not trying than by trying. So, how do you go from feeling trapped to living the life you want? Oh, that's a good question. And I'm going to give you my perspective because it starts with setting clear, achievable goals. This is what actually helped me. And you can't hit a target you can't see. You have to also understand that. So you have to write down your goals, break them into manageable steps, and hold yourself accountable, which is something that a lot of people don't do nowadays. I didn't do it until a few years ago. So I understand why people don't do it. And you also have to understand that this isn't just about dreaming big. It's about planning strategically. You have to be strategic on what you want. You have to plan it. You have to do so many fucking things. Because successful people are not just dreamers. They're doers with a plan. And if you want to be successful, you have to think that same way. I have seen and heard people that are successful, millionaires and billionaires, they have plan for years ahead sometimes. I have read books from, successful people in the past, and they had planned for years in advance. I have listened to podcasts nowadays where billionaires and multimillionaires, they say like, oh, I already have my whole year planned out. And it seems hard to understand, but that's what actually going to get you to your promised land. To plan it and to literally develop the steps, learn what you need to learn so you can actually get to that point in your life. But next, let's talk about resilience. Because turning the impossible into possible isn't a smooth ride. It's a fucking bumpy, challenging journey filled with setbacks. But here's the truth. Setbacks are not failures. I don't give a fuck what everybody else says about failures because a lot of people are like, oh, if you fail, you suck, you have to stop. No, fuck that. Because to me, failures are learning opportunities. Every successful person has faced failure. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. they learned, they adapted, and they kept moving forward. Because resilience is about getting up every time you fall and learning from each experience. That's how you build resilience, by learning from each experience and getting up every time you fall. Another crucial aspect is surrounding yourself with the right people. Your environment plays a significant role in your success. A lot of people don't understand this. I didn't understand it until I got out of the toxic environment that I was on or at. Because if you're surrounded by negative, toxic people, their energy will drag you down. That's why I stopped talking to my family. My family is very toxic. Whenever I try to do something, they will be like, oh, it's all thanks to me. Or if I didn't reach my goal, they will be like, see, I told you you sucked. Instead of offering me support. That's how they were dragging me down. So instead of being in an environment like that, you have to seek out those people who inspire you, motivate you, and support you. You have to build a network of positive influences who will encourage you to push your limits and believe in your potential. For me, that's my wife and a few friends that I have. And I'm going to ask you this. Who are those people for you? If you don't have them in your life, find them. Create that support system. And one of the most powerful tools in turning the impossible into possible is visualization. You have to picture yourself achieving your goals. Visualize the steps you need to take and the obstacles you need to overcome. I know, it's hard. It was hard for me to actually learn this, but I learned it in the end. It took me a few years because this isn't just some woo-woo concept. This isn't bullshit. It's backed by science. Neuroscientists, psychologists talk about this. You can find information about this on Google because here's what happens. When you visualize your success, you prime your brain to work towards that reality. It's like creating a mental roadmap that guides your actions and decisions. So you're pretty much telling yourself, like, if I want to go from zero to, let's say, $10,000 a month, I have to do this, and this. I have to learn this, and this. And I'm going to do it. And you stick to it. You visualize it. You see yourself learning. You see yourself achieving that goal. And then all of a sudden it's going to start happening. But you also have to put the work. You have to do the steps. You have to do the learning. So that's why you also have to visualize everything. So you have a plan and you stick to that plan. Now, let's get real about fear. That's another thing that happens a lot because fear is a natural response to the unknown. But it doesn't have to control you, does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to control you. A lot of people let their fear control them. And I always tell them, like, face that fear. So you have to embrace your fear and use it as fuel. Understand that fear is a sign you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's where growth happens. Because courage is in the absence of fear. It's taking action despite it. So face your fears head on and watch them get smaller and smaller and smaller, like Pennywise from It, at least on the new version. Because what happened in that movie is that once the people fighting Ed, Pennywise, were not afraid of him, he shrunk and was easily killed. Like all that fear that he was feeding himself with disappeared. He lost his power. You have to do the exact same thing. You have to face those fears and control them. Make them small and take care of them. And it's also essential to cultivate a growth mindset. This means believing that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work, because a growth mindset fosters resilience and a love for learning. I love learning. That's why I love a growth mindset. I love learning new things that I know are going to help me get to the next level. Because when you do this, you're going to start viewing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than insurmountable obstacles. You see a fucking mountain right in front of you and you're like, I can climb it. Yeah, it might take me a little bit, but I'm going to fucking climb it. I'm going to put my flag on top of that fucking mountain. And adopting this mindset can transform your approach to life and help you achieve the impossible. Which today, with all the technology that we have AI, we have so many things. A lot of things are not impossible. A lot of things seem impossible because of how we picture it in our heads. And you also have to understand one thing. Self-care is another critical component to be able to achieve this. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. A lot of you don't really do this, just like I used to, but taking care of your physical, emotional, and even mental health is paramount. This means getting enough sleep, eating right, exercising, and taking time to relax and recharge. Because when you're at your best, you can give your best. So don't neglect your well-being in the pursuit of your goals. You're going to end up burning out, and then you're going to get mad, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to feel like a failure. Because in your eyes, you're going to fail if you do this, or if you don't take care of yourself. And let's not forget the power of persistence. People have lost that power. People don't understand what persistence is anymore. Because success rarely comes overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. So keep pushing even when progress seems slow. Remember, every small step forward is progress. And persistence is about staying the course no matter how long it takes. It's about believing in yourself and your vision even when the odds seem stacked against you. You're going to be, if you start building persistence when people tell you, oh, you're not going to do it, you're not going to make it, you don't sound okay, you all of this shit, you're going to be like, you know what? You're right, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to get better, I'm going to persist, and I'm going to fucking win. I am going to pivot if I have to, but I'm going to fucking win. That's pretty much what persistence has done for me. Now, consider also the role of gratitude. Because practicing gratitude can shift your mindset from a state of lack to abundance. Oh, yes, it can. Because when you focus on what you have rather than what you don't, you open yourself up for more positive experience and opportunities. You're like, oh, you know what? I have a house. I have a roof over my head. So you start being grateful for that. And then you start being grateful for the food on your fridge. You start seeing that you have things that you're not lacking in life. And you start loving that life. You're like, you know what? I can do better. I can do more. Why can't I? Because gratitude helps you appreciate your journey and stay motivated even during tough times. A lot of us, pretty much everybody, unless you were born recently, we have gone through the COVID pandemic. A lot of people cracked under the pressure, and a lot of people survive under the pressure and are thriving under the pressure. I feel that my wife and I were able to thrive because of the shit that I'm talking about. We stayed together, we fought together, we didn't let the stress or anything break us. We were grateful for having each other. We were grateful for having the things that we were having at that time. And we came through the storm swinging, and we won. And it's also important to stay flexible, because here's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I don't know why. Sometimes it drives me crazy, but life is unpredictable and plans often change, just like what happened with me after switching to a new job. That was unpredictable. Those plans change, so I have to be adaptable, and adaptability is the key to navigating this type of changes, because life is gonna shit on you no matter what. So you have to be open to new opportunities and willing to adjust your plans when necessary. Kind of like I did in that situation. And also, flexibility allows you to pivot and keep moving forward no matter what life throws your way. You might find a dead end and you're like, you know what? Either I have to go through this wall or I'm going to have to pivot and find a different way. That's what flexibility has helped me with. And if you start doing it, if you start learning about it, and if you start becoming more flexible, that's going to fucking help you too. And another thing that I want to talk about on today's episode is the importance of taking action. Ideas and plans are worthless without action. I have heard so many people say like, oh, I want to do this, whatever, I have this idea, I have this plan, whatever, but they never take action. And this is where I tell them, and this is what I'm going to tell you, don't wait for the perfect moment or the right conditions. I started doing the podcast not knowing where I wanted to take it. Now I know where I want to take it, how I want to sound, what type of topics I want to talk about. And I'm finally to the point where I'm like, oh shit, prepare your fucking self. But I had to take action. So start now with what you have. Action creates momentum, and momentum drives progress. You have to understand that. And even small steps can lead to significant changes over time. That's why I started. That's how I started with the podcast 4 years ago, not knowing what I wanted to talk about. I just knew that I needed to learn how to talk, how to conversate, how to express myself. So I've been learning that for the last 4 years, which is my next and my last topic for today. Never stop learning. Never. Because the world is constantly evolving and staying informed and educated is crucial. So invest in your personal and professional development. Read books, take courses, attend workshops, and seek out mentors. Because the more you learn, the more equipped you are to turn the impossible into possible. You're not going to stop so easily just because you see a rock in front of you. Even if it's a fucking boulder, you're like, I know how to get through this. I know how to go around it. I know how to go above it. I know how to go under it, You start to learn a lot of ways on how to literally overcome your obstacles. So remember, turning the impossible into possible is about mindset, resilience, planning, and action. It's about believing in yourself and staying persistent and adapting to change. Remember my story. The only thing holding you back is your mindset. So embrace these strategies and you'll unlock your potential, achieving what once seemed impossible. And you're gonna look at yourself and be like, holy shit, I should have done this a long time ago. I should have started this when I was younger, when I was in my 20s or in my teens. But now I'm in my 30s, 40s, and you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. I can fucking do it. That's what you need to do. That's what I want you to understand from today's episode. And I want you to go out there, figure out exactly what is that you want to do in life, what makes you happy, what's your passion, what's your purpose, and start working on it. Because until you find that passion, that purpose, you're not going to feel fulfilled. And that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to stay tuned for more content. Do you have a question or just need to vent? You know where to find me. Share your journey and let's navigate this wild ride together. Until next time, stay connected, stay badass, and remember, the world needs your unique brand of badassery. And here are my final thoughts. Keep pushing your limits. Don't let anything stop you. And have a great day.